So, carrying on with Revelation chapter 18, I need to go back to 17 for a minute because the last video got cut off there. So, right around verse 9. This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. There are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen, 1 is, the other has not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for a little while. The beast who once was and now is not is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. So this you can dig into if you want. I don't recommend it, but you can get into exactly, which of the kings and the different Caesars and go through the chronology of which of the evil rulers, persecuted the Jews and all that kind of stuff. The point is that John's being told, hey, look, you've seen a lot of the bad stuff go on, but there's still the big bad guy is still coming. And that applies to us today as well. 12. The 10 horns you saw are the 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast. They have one purpose and will give their power and authority to the beast. They will make war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will overcome them, because he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. Then the angel said to me, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put it into their hearts to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to give the beast their power to rule, until God's words are fulfilled. The woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. So while there is almost certainly someone like a Ghislaine Maxwell running the show in this kind of thing, it's also talking about this corrupt, evil economic system in general. So, chapter 18. After this, I saw another angel coming down from heaven. He had great authority, and the earth was illuminated by his splendor. With a mighty voice he shouted, Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a home for demons and a haunt for every evil spirit, a haunt for every unclean and detestable bird. For all the nations have drunk the maddening wine of her adulteries. The kings of the earth committed adultery with her. The merchants of the earth grew rich from her excessive luxuries. Then I heard another voice from heaven say, Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues. For her sins are piled up to heaven, and God has remembered her crimes. Give back to her as she has given. Pay back double for what she has done. Mix her a double portion from her own cup. Give her as much torture and grief as the glory and luxury she gave herself. In her heart she boasts, I sit as queen, I am not a widow, and I will never mourn. Therefore, in one day her plagues will overtake her, death, mourning, and famine. She will be consumed by fire, for mighty is the Lord God who judges her. Which is a cool little piece of comfort that all of the corruption and exorbitant taxes and all this kind of stuff that's going on, God's going to deal with it all real powerfully, giving it back double as it was given to us. So take hope, as we're dealing through these corrupt times and bad economic systems and all this kind of stuff, it's going to get made right. Verse 9. When the kings of the earth who committed adultery with her and shared her luxuries see the smoke of her burning, they will weep and mourn over her. Terrified at her torment, they will stand far off and cry, Woe, woe, O great city, O Babylon, city of power. In 1 hour your doom has come. So also, this city, this economic system, all that is going to fall fast. 1 hour, without even needing to get dogmatic about what 1 hour is. It's less than 100 years. This is going to be in a real quick amount of time, probably within 60 minutes, almost certainly within, say, a month or so. This is going to be real fast stuff. I think this is probably a literal hour, but it doesn't matter. The point is, it's going to be shockingly fast. 11. The merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargoes anymore. Cargoes of gold, silver, precious stones, and pearls, fine linen, purple, silk, and scarlet cloth, every sort of citron wood, and articles of every kind made of ivory, costly wood, bronze, iron, and marble, cargoes of cinnamon and spice, of incense, myrrh, and frankincense, of wine and olive oil, of fine flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and carriages, and bodies and souls of men. They will say, "The fruit you longed for is gone from you, and all your riches and splendors have vanished, never to be recovered." The merchants who sold these things and gained their wealth from her will stand far off, terrified at her torment. They will weep and mourn and cry out, "Woe, woe, O great city, dressed in fine linen, purple and scarlet, and glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. In 1 hour such great wealth has been brought to ruin." Every sea captain and all who travel by ship, the sailors, and all who earn their living from the sea will stand far off. When they see the smoke of her burning, they will exclaim, "Where was there ever a city like this great city?" They will throw dust on their heads, and with weeping and mourning cry out, "Woe, woe, O great city, where all who had ships in the sea became rich through her wealth. In 1 hour she has been brought to ruin. Rejoice over her, O heaven. Rejoice, saints and apostles and prophets. God has judged her for the way she treated you." Then a mighty angel picked up a boulder the size of a large millstone and threw it into the sea, and said, "With such violence, the great city of Babylon will be thrown down, never to be found again. The music of harpists and musicians, flute players and trumpeters will never be heard in you again. No workman of any trade will ever be found in you again. The sound of a millstone will never be heard in you again. The light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The voice of bridegroom and bride will never be heard in you again. Your merchants were the world's great men, but by your magic spell, all the nations were led astray. In her was found the blood of prophets and of the saints and of all who have been killed on the earth. We'll stop there and pick up with 19 after this and finish off the book. Talk soon, guys.